MCL, the word in your home.
Good morning, and you're welcome to your number one breakfast program on TV, Good Morning, Abia. My name is Michael Ofoye. Of course, we're coming to you live from the MCL studio here in about the Abia City, Abia State. I'm not alone this morning. I have Ruth Helps with me. Ruth, good morning. It's always a pleasure to have you on the breakfast program. Good morning.
Good morning, Michael, and of course, it's always a pleasure to sit with you on Good Morning, Abia. And to you, Abians, good morning. Welcome to your one-stop breakfast show on MCLtv. Good morning, Abia.
And of course, on this program, what we do is to bring you abreast with all that is happening here in Abia State, Nigeria, and also outside the shows of the country. And of course, for the next 2 hours, we'll keep you entertained and also informed of what is happening. But of course, on this program, we have our routine. The routine for us is to give you the words of marble, the words that spurs you to be a better person. But before the words of marble, Ruth, it is 22 days, and you and I know that Nigerians will be headed to the polls. 22 days. The question here for us is always the same. How ready are we?
How ready are we? Have you collected your PVC? That's a question. It's not just about coming on social media to shout and talk and say, I do not want this, I do not want that. How are you making this change possible? Are you with your PVC? Because your PVC is your power to vote. So have you gotten your PVC? That's the question to ask. Or are you just planning on sitting down and of course when some leaders emerge, you go all over, go through the routine again to say, no, we don't want this person. But you know that you have the power to actually change whoever it is you feel isn't working, you feel isn't bringing about that desired result that you've always looked forward to. So your PVC is your right, so you have to go and collect your PVC. And of course, INEC is dishing out the PVCs to people. So if you registered, you have to go to INEC office and pick your PVC. Otherwise, remain silent, whatever the outcome is.
All right, remain silent is the only way you can be part of the movement is by having your PVC, and because that's the power that you and I have to make the change. Quickly, let's go to the words of marvel, and the words of marvel this morning comes up with these, and it's coming from William Shakespeare, and it calls this:
no legacy is so rich as honesty. No legacy is so rich as honesty.
I tell you, this one is so inspiring, it's so motivating, and it's also a check note and a checkbook for us. If we put these into our day-to-day life, remember that no legacy, Ruth, no legacy is so rich as honesty. When somebody tells you and say, hey, that is Ruth, and somebody says, I can vouch for her, Ruth can do this. No legacy is so rich than honesty. And so we're asking you this morning to have that at the back of your mind, that despite what you do to earn a living, remember that good name is better than wealth. All right, quickly, it's back to you, Ruth, to tell us what is making round in the world of news.
Okay, welcome to the news segment, and now details of the news. The federal government yesterday cried out over the alarm raised by the National Assembly that the 2019 budget contained several discrepancies which it considers anomalous. The Senate questioned the deviations in the figures submitted by President Muhammadu Buhari and that of the National Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, in respect of the conduct of the 2019 polls, saying those figures did not add up. Chairman of the Senate Committee on INEC, Senator Nazir Suleiman, who raised the issue, said the discrepancies were germane and could not be ignored by the lawmakers. However, yesterday, Director General of Budget Office of the Federation, Ben Akabweze, made it clear that the budget had no errors or discrepancies as claimed by the lawmakers. After a marathon meeting between members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities and the federal government over the ongoing strike, the union has said the federal government failed to make fresh offer on funding for the revitalization of public universities in the country. Also, the union stated that government is yet to address the issue of renegotiation of the 2009 federal government and ASU agreement in its new offer made to the union on Monday. This was disclosed by the president of ASU, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, in a bulletin he sent to branches of the union. Ogunyemi said at the meeting held on January 21, 2019, between the union and government agents, the Minister of Labour and Employment, and representatives of relevant government agencies, government improved its earlier offer. And barely a day after it got to the National Assembly, the National Minimum Wage Bill yesterday passed the crucial first and second reading in the Senate and House of Representatives. The bill was transmitted to the red and green chambers by the President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday. The upper chamber spoke of a plan to accommodate domestic workers of politically exposed persons, PEP, in the implementation of the new salary structure. Titled Approval of a National Minimum Wage for Nigerian Workers, Amendment of the National Minimum Wage Amendment Act 2011, the bill prescribes 27,000 naira as minimum wage. The Senate suspended its rules to take first and second reading of the bills as was suggested by Senate Leader Ahmed Lawan. Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, who presided, noted that the consideration of the bill was the first time the Senate would read an executive communication and suspended its standing rules to consider it. Ekweremadu added that the Senate will constitute an ad hoc committee to work with stakeholders to produce an acceptable report for the Senate to approve. He noted that the bill limited those to benefit from the new wage structure to places with not less than 25 workers, saying it will exclude workers in places with fewer workers. The Deputy Senate President urged the ad hoc committee to address the issue during its public hearing. Speaking on the second reading of the bill, he said, "This will be the first time the 8th Senate is reading an executive communication and suspending our rules to take a first and second reading and assigning the bill to a committee all in one day." This shows how committed we are to this issue. I believe that we have said what we have said so far will suffice in guiding the committee. Just to clarify, the new minimum wage brought to us is set at 27,000 naira. There were news reports of 27,000 naira for state workers and 30,000 naira for the federal government workers. But this is a single national minimum wage of 27,000 naira. The Senate leader said the 27,000 naira national minimum wage had already been agreed upon by stakeholders. He said the bill should be given accelerated consideration and passage so that its implementation could begin this year. And the Court of Appeal in Abuja on Thursday returned former Cross River State Governor Donald Duke as the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP. This came as the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, rejected the withdrawal of the presidential candidate of the Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, ACPN, Dr. Abia, from the February 16 election. The three-man panel of the appellate court, in a judgment delivered on the appeal filed by Duke, reversed the judgment of an Abuja High Court, which had declared Professor Jerry Ghana as the party's candidate. Duke had emerged the winner of the SDP presidential primaries held on October 6, 2018, where he secured 812 votes to Ghana's 611 votes. But Ghana, citing breach of the SDP constitution, had approached the trial court seeking to void the election of Duke. In his ruling, the trial judge, Justice Baba Hussein Yusuf of the FCT High Court, had held the emergence of the former Cross River State Governor as SDP's presidential candidate violated the zoning and rotation formula provided in Section 15, subsection 3 of the party's constitution. He subsequently recognized Ghana as the authentic candidate of the SDP and accordingly ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to replace the name of Duke with Ghana as SDP flag bearer in the February 16 presidential election. The court in the judgment ordered INEC to immediately recognize Duke as authentic candidate. It also awarded a cost of 500,000 naira against Ghana in favor of Duke, the SDP, and the national chairman of the party. The United States and the United Kingdom have warned that politicians who instigate violence or are involved in electoral fraud will be refused visas to enter their countries. In a statement issued by the U.S. Embassy and British High Commission in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, on Thursday, both governments called for free and fair elections, announcing that politicians working towards curtailing the exercise would not only face a number of sanctions, but would also have their family members face visa bans to the US and the UK. The US Embassy in a statement said the conduct of upcoming elections in Nigeria is important not only for Nigeria, but for the African continent. And the Trump administration is trying to cut Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's revenue streams, U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton says. The comments came one day after Mr. Maduro cut diplomatic ties with the United States. He was angry after they recognized an opposition figure, Juan Guaido, as interim president on Wednesday. Mr. Bolton told reporters outside the White House the issue was complicated, but they were working on a plan to funnel funds to Mr. Guaido instead. Figures from the Trump administration are continuing to try and compound pressure on Mr. Maduro as the international community remains divided in its support of him. Russia has condemned foreign powers for backing Mr. Guaido, saying the move violated international law and was a direct path to bloodshed. Mike Pompeo, the U.S. Secretary of State, has now requested a UN Security Council meeting be held on the issue on Saturday. At a meeting of the Organization of American States, OAS, on Thursday, he described Maduro's government as morally bankrupt and undemocratic to the core. The U.S. State Department, meanwhile, has ordered non-essential staff to leave Venezuela. Maduro's sovereignty has been backed by China and Russia, who have both strategic interests in his country's economy. Others, including Mexico and Turkey, have also stood by Mr. Maduro. A Caracas-based NGO, the Observatory of Social Conflict, says that at least 26 people have been killed in demonstrations so far this week. And with that, we've come to the end of the news, but Good Morning Abia continues with Michael Ofoye to enjoy the rest of the program.
All right. Thank you very much, Ruth, for taking us around the world of news. And of course, we go for a break. And when we come back, the program Good Morning Abia continues. Please do stay with us.
Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Another political season is here.
The storm of partisan politics has thrown up numerous candidates.
Who can best represent the people?
Abia Media Roundtable presents Political Debates 2019 for governorship and National Assembly candidates.
Let the best candidates emerge through fair debates on relevant issues. Abia Media Roundtable.
Fairness and integrity.
2019 Abia Political Debates.
Date 4th February for National Assembly candidates, 21st February for governorship candidates. Venue Bines Hotel, Herbert Macaulay Hall, Aba. For more information, call 080-5483-3026, 080-3669-3622, or 080-3300-3566. This program is proudly brought to you by ACTV, BCA, Boss FM, Flow FM, Magic FM, MCLtv, NTA Channel 6 Aba, PBS, Pacesetter FM, Love FM, Vision Africa, and Ibere Online TV.
Are you a plumber? Do you have 3 years experience in the job? Do you have good experience in store management and purchase? Then quickly apply to the management and Etona Hotel at number 6 Margaret Avenue, GRA, Aba, Abia State.
one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Now Alibaba Mogaji and boys get us for this time. Since he really know the one thing, now I won't come force him boys give us. So this one don't tire person. You know?
Now they gossip. Okay.
You don't do. See.
Bros, why you they complain? So you want to tell me say the young way Baba Mogaji boys here, you know reach your house?
Now only two they give us. They can't put salt, pepper and well done, madam. Garden here join them. Me, I don't collect my own because I know some go vote for a person. Even some other people say they reject them, they don't collect them. You don't collect them.
Hey, bros, you don't trust me. I collect and fear. See, now we shop last night. Now the remaining one I shop come this morning. See, man, I tell you, I just come here, come watch. I know who they vote.
Why you know? Better thing I will tell you, so now serious matter.
Bro, forget that thing. More go to
serious matter. Why you no go vote? See that old man, that old man. I bet this is a place you can't play for you.
See, bros, I don't swear say I don't go vote for any election again. Because the last time when I vote, I saw some bad boy where they smoke it go, holla my face, carry my bus run. See, I don't really risk my life again.
If you no one come out, come vote. Now be say the plans of ahead for you and your children generation.
To fear quoi? Bros, even at cost, I reject them.
Easy to reject. But if you no one come out, can't use the power where you get, where be your vote. Now be saying so far ahead. Correct so far ahead, now the plan for also. You know.
So, who be that person?
Now I'm the school PTA chairman. I organize Papa and Mama, they made the pool for school. Even that waste disposal system, where they clean the market, down. Even they follow them, they supervise. Even they clean that canal we blocked the last time. You don't promise, say, if we vote them, the community go better. Say, go put a library, put a borehole, put a flour processing mill.
See, this man don't prove him go be a true leader.
No.
Look, if he get correct plan, I go vote for me to be that too.
Now you talk better talk.
Everybody listen. The voting exercise is about to start now. This is a one-man, one-vote exercise. Everybody is entitled to vote only once. I want us to come and form a queue. Then you come forward and pick up your ballot papers one after the other. Your security is guaranteed.
Look at this ballot box. Never.
Are you be Superman?
News update. Since Meto Neto was elected 18 months ago, he has implemented many projects in his community.
Bro, you dey hear am? See, now better this guy vote for Meto. No more teacher strike.
Water the flow.
Our piggy go dey go school.
Hospital, yeah, man.
Road don better reach level.
No chance for Ururu again. Our vote now the power we get. To choose the kind leader we want.
Na true talk.
Your vote plus my vote, na democracy. Oh.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
You're welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is still Good Morning Abia, your number one breakfast program on TV, coming to you live from the university here in Aba, in Abia State. And quickly, it is time for us to take a look at the papers. And of course, this morning we have three papers on our desk, starting with The Guardian. And of course, The Guardian at the bold headline The Guardian has its bold headline this morning as US, UK vow to sanction pool violence perpetrators. And of course, this is coming from the US and the UK. It says US, UK vow to sanction pool violence perpetrators. And of course, controversy over Ekwesili dumping presidential race. Party adopts Buhari. INEC says she can't withdraw. And of course, if you're wondering what are the picture elements before you this morning, well, just to give you a quick one to say, is a peaceful peaceful protest by the Good Governance campaign demanding the enforcement of Section 144 of the 1999 Nigerian Constitution to be activated on health status. President Muhammad Buhari yesterday in Lagos. And of course, underneath that, you have anxiety, excitement, greet early rains in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and others. Anxiety and excitement greet early heavy rains in Lagos and Port Harcourt and others. And of course, if you need to find more about that, you go to page 6 of the paper. And at the top left of the paper comes up with a special report. Examiners reveal how private school aid exam malpractice, and that could be found on page 34. And of course, the Imo APC crisis worsened as faction expel Gilbert candidates. And of course, that could be found on page 5 of the paper. Talking about appeal court order stay of an August trial at CCT. That could be found on page 3. Politics and policy. On page 15, over 3,000 of my billboards were destroyed in Lagos, says Jimmy Agbaje. And let's take you to the back page of the paper. And of course, the back page of the paper this morning is the Guardian Sport. Well, we'll be leaving this out for now because Jonah RG or Ifunanya will come to tell us the word of sport. But just to keep you in tune with it, it is Raw opens Eagles' door for home base players. All right, Roots.
Okay, we'll move quickly to the Nation newspaper. We started from the top left. We're seeing the picture element of the presidential campaign, or should we call X, former presidential candidate Obi Ezekwesili, who happened to be the former finance minister, INEC, ACP, and KIK as Ezekwesili quits race. INEC, ACP, and KIK as Ezekwesili quits race. And the Ziani Cash, ex-INEC officials convicted. The Ziani Cash, ex-INEC officials convicted. And details of the stories could be found on pages 2 and 7. Away from that, we see Ahmed Musa picture element there, and it comes to something on sports. Ahmed Musa loses mom. Not really a good time for Ahmed Musa, so all fans of Ahmed Musa, pray for him, put in your prayers, because your favorite player has lost his mom. Obiano 6 votes for APGA. Obiano 6 votes for APGA. Imo APC expels Ozodema. Imo APC expels Ozodema. CBN plans capital control rules. CBN plans capital control rules. Pages 42, 6, and 47. Those are the pages you can read up those stories. Away from that, we're seeing a picture element of the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, President Buhari, and Dr. Ngige acknowledging cheers from supporters at the rally in Onitsha yesterday. President Buhari and Dr. Ngige acknowledging cheers from supporters at the rally in Onitsha yesterday. We're seeing a screaming headline underneath that: Southeast to Buhari, give us IGP Security Council slot. Southeast to Buhari, give us IGP Security Council slot. President seeks return of APC. Ohaneze adopts Atiku. President seeks return of APC. Ohaneze adopts Atiku. And it comes with the picture element there of President Muhammadu Buhari being welcomed by the Obi of Onitsha, Igwe Alfred Achebe, yesterday. With him or with them are Obiano and others. Minimum wage bill passes second reading is another headline beside picture element there. Minimum wage bill passes second reading. On Oregon, Court of Appeal orders Conduct Tribunal to stay proceedings. Court of Appeal orders Conduct Tribunal to stay proceedings on the case of Onoren, the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Page 8, page 6 is where you can read up the stories. We'll move away from the front page of the Nation newspaper to the back page of the Nation newspaper, where we are seeing today in the Nation coming from Olukorede Ishao. He says, no one should be made to pay for electricity not used, and no one should also fail to pay for electricity consumed. Either way, it is fraud. No one should be made to pay for electricity not used, and no one should also fail to pay for electricity consumed. Either way, it is fraud. Shegun Badagashin is there with the writer of the column Comment and Debate, and the title of Comment and Debate this morning is Remembering MLK on the 90th anniversary of his birth. Remembering MLK on the 90th anniversary of his birth. And of course, we're seeing the picture element of the late activist there, the late Dr. Luther King Jr. The late Dr. Luther King Jr. And of course, away from that, you're seeing Hardball. Hardball is coming with a top title saying, Obi, due process gone gaga. Obi, due process gone gaga. All right. And of course, on the left there is a character titled Repos. Prophet impregnates housewife. Prophet impregnates housewife. We're seeing people there laughing, replying, congrats to her husband. Someone has helped to carry your cross. Again, that's all from the Nation newspaper.
And of course, the next paper on our desk this morning is the Daily Independent. Daily Independent has it at the right, at the top left corner of the paper comes up 2019 US and UK warn of their consequences for rigging and violence. And after that, you have ex-IGP Idris faces probe over 311 million naira election fund, and that could be found on page 40 of the paper. And of course, Imo APC expels Guba candidate Hope Uzodinma on page 41. And of course, the big, bold banner this morning is 2019 finally. Ohaneze endorses Atiku and Obi tickets. Urges international community to ensure free, credible election polls. And of course, Buhari to Igbo, I appointed security chief based on merit. Says he has no new promise for Southeast. Says he has no new promises for Southeast. That could be found on page 4 of the paper. And of course, that is smiling faces. If you ask me, Igwe Alfred Nnameka Achebe, the Obi of Onitsha, having a strong warm handshake with the president, Muhammadu Buhari middle, and of course the other man smiling away and waiting for the camera to come on. He's no other person than Willie Obiano, the governor of Anambra State, during the president's visit to the traditional ruler before the All Progressive Congress presidential campaign in Onitsha in Anambra State. Well, that's a good one. Sir, how do you do? Not bad. I'm just making sure that everything is going well at the palace. All right. You can't quit presidential race, INEC tells Equesili, and that can be found on page 40. And of course, that is also going to form our discussion for this morning. INEC tells Equesili, you can't quit presidential race now. INEC tells Equesili, and that can be found on page 40. Quickly, man divorces wife for insisting on voting for Buhari in Plateau State. Well, believe me, a lot is happening during this election process. And of course, there's an asunder because man divorces his wife for insisting that, look, I am going to vote for the number one man because I think he has done so well for the country. Well, for you to get abreast to that, that can be found on page 41 of the Daily Independent. Man divorces wife for insisting, I am going to vote for my president. And of course, Igbo alleges arrest of members by the IPOB. I beg your pardon, I take that again. The IPOB alleges arrest of members by the military. That can be found on page 41. Appeal court halts Onage's trial adjourns till January 30th. Now suspends rules. Fast track minimum wage bill, and of course that could be found on page 4. Lawmakers may be on collision course with federal government over 27,000 proposals. Senate adjourns to February 19, fails to consider 2019 budget. Presidency allows expedition action on national minimum wage. And of course, if you need to get abreast with all this, we ask you to get yourself the Daily Independent. But quickly, let's take you to the back page of the paper and the back page of the Daily Independent this morning, and it's coming from no other person in the column, the imperative, I beg your pardon, and Nigeria's politics on absurdism. And of course, it's coming from Sunny Awefeada. And quickly, let's also tell you that Michael's England's return, what benefits for Super Eagles. All right, tick, it's time for us to talk. And this morning, let us spy your day. Well, the first one, Ruth. Don't you think some people are taking it to the extreme? Man divorced his wife because the wife has a different or has made up her mind to say, look, I am going to vote for the president. And the man said, look, if you vote for the president, believe me, this marriage is over. If we can have the Daily Independent to pop up while we're discussing, it would be nice for the people to know that we are not the ones saying it on these papers. Man divorces wife for insisting on voting for Buhari. All right, we'll just go for a break, and when we come back, the program Good Morning Abia continues. Please do stay with us.
one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, then go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV. Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
You're welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is still Good Morning Abia, on the World Breakfast Program on TV, coming to you live here in the University of Abia State. And of course, we've been taking a look at the papers, and almost of the papers are pointing out the withdrawal of the ACPN candidate, talking about Eze Ekwesili. And of course, this is also going to form our discussion from this morning. And of course, if you go to the Daily Independent at the left corner of the paper, it says you can't quit the presidential race now. INEC tells Eze Ekwesili. And of course, it will gladden you to know that a man is taking it too far. And this morning, the man is divorcing his wife to say, look, I will divorce you if you vote for the president. And of course, the IPOB members are saying, look, it seems the military is coming for our members. Ruth, what's catching your fancy in all these papers?
Well, it's a particular story making trend, but I think the forming discussion this morning is Ekwesili, and of course her withdrawal from the presidential race, her battle with her party and INEC, and it seems like her plans may not.
A lot of people have been asking when she said after due consultation, and the question is, who did you consult? Who did you sit down with? And of course, we have a lot of our political experts that were here yesterday, and one of them pointed out that, look, believe me, it won't be. I won't be shocked to my marrow if at the end of the day, Obi Ekwesili decides to go with the way of the APC party. And of course, The paper does not differ from that, and the paper says this morning, to be precisely, that the party, abia Kwesili represents, is giving his hand of friendship to APC. Well, there's been some topsy-turvy in the party, why some other party believes that, why some members of the party believe that the right person to give the support in terms of coalition should be that of Fela and Kingsley, who they feel is a better candidate. All right, we'll keep you posted with that. But INEC is saying, look, gentlemen, I will appreciate it if you can get all these papers as they come. And INEC is saying, gentlemen, the time you asked for withdrawal has passed. If you need to ask for withdrawal, the Constitution, the INEC Constitution has it that there's always a deadline for parties to withdraw or for parties to take away a specific candidate and replace. And of course, that ending came up November 17th. Any other list or names of anybody that exceeds November 17th cannot be changed by INEC. And so INEC is saying, no. Obi, you didn't take your time to read what the INEC manifesto says. There are windows, and the windows for you to change or to pull out from the race ends at November 17, 2018. Even though if you pull out, believe me, the ACPN logo will be there. And so, Ekwesili, I will not understand why you're pulling out. But just to tell you that you can't at this time pull out of the race. And of course, to make that so strong, INEC, the US is saying, gentlemen, please note that we will hold people responsible, and that could be found in the Guardian newspaper. And it says, we will hold anybody that perpetuates or does anything to rule this forthcoming election. Believe me, first and foremost, you will not be issued visas to the US and to the UK. And if you have an outstanding visa, we will make sure that that visa does not take you out of the country. The US and the UK vow to sanction pools, violent perpetrators, those that will go around perpetuating trouble and making sure that we don't have a peaceful election. And of course, the INEC has said, look, we would also make sure that Obi, whether you like it or not, take note that the ACPN logo is going to be coming up when the ballot papers are given. Roots, US, UK vows to sanction pool violence perpetrators.
I think it's a welcome development, which means the world is watching.
Of course, the world has only been watching.
Yeah, but this time around, for them to actually give this kind of sanctions,
it shows how serious it is.
How serious it is. I told you before that this year's election is not like other years' election. This year's election is going to be very intense, and of course, we are seeing it. Things are already unfolding. And I think it's a welcome development by the international community saying, hey, if you perpetrate violence or instigate violence, we will ban you from entering our countries. And you know what it is when the United States bans you from actually coming there. Remember a particular presidential candidate that was said he can't get to the United States, and we know the kind of uproar it caused.
Okay, Ruth, sorry that I'm cutting you short. Also to bring us up to speed that Imo APC expels Cuba candidate, talking about Hope Zodima, claimed by the paper that he has been expelled by APC. There has been serious trouble ever since Rocha's son-in-law was taken out of the flag bearer of the APC party. There's always been troubled waters in Imo State. First and foremost, some paper came up with the issue before now that Rochas also have been expelled from APC for doing double party. And this morning, it is coming up to say the Imo State APC expels Guba candidate Hope Uzodinma. Wow.
Does that mean, does that mean they will not have a Guba candidate?
Well, we'll see how that unfolds. But the funny part of it is that INEC has taken records, and of course you heard me when I gave that INEC said his window for any change or submission is November 17, and everything above November 17 will not be accepted by INEC. Okay, we'll keep you posted with that. But just to read this coming from the paper talking about the Daily Independent paper, it's the Imo State chapter of All Progressive Congress, APC, has announced the expulsion of its governorship candidate, Senator Hope Uzodinma, from the party. Uzodinma's expulsion was reportedly based on numerous anti-party activities he was said to have indulged in. A source who pleaded anonymity told Daily Independent that he, Uzodinma, was sponsoring All Progressive Grand Alliance senatorial candidate for Imo West, Olu Senatorial District Senator Osita Izu Naso, along other candidates. Because that was the reason why the man that's supposed to fly the APC flag there in Imo State has been expelled, and the reason was because he was doing double party. One, he was sponsoring, another that's passing, also trying to get the senatorial seats. And so the party said, you can't be telling us
you're an APC and you're supporting someone in another party.
That means you're not practicing what to preach. All right, you can also be part of this discussion by calling the numbers on your TV screen, by calling 081 7745 7728. Tell us if there are any papers, if there are any headlines that beg a pardon that catches your fancy and you want to lay your voice to, please feel free to do that. All right, Roots. Let's also say, look, everything in life has a beginning, and everything in life would also have something to end it up. Of course, there's a point in time in life that you take a bow and you leave the stage, and somebody else will take up the center stage. And this morning, the ex-IGP, talking about Idris, faces probe over 311 million election form. It is barely a month Idris left the seat of power, and now he's been accused and he's going to face a probe. SIGP Idris faces probe over 311 million election fund. I'm sure a lot of Nigerians will want to find out what will be the outcome of this. It's barely a month that the former IG Idris left the seat, and now Idris will face probe over 3. Why is it that as soon as one man in a position steps out, the next you see he's been accused of finance, he's been accused of one. Why can't we have Nigerians that will leave a position and people will say, well, he did well, why serving the nation? Why are we always linked up with something that will always hurt us because of our past?
Well, I would say it's still the corruption factor. It's still the corruption factor. Corruption is really a cancer that's eaten up into every facet and sector of the nation. It goes to wonder, you keep wondering, does it mean there aren't people anymore who have integrity or who have this uprightness and character? Because if you remember this ex-IGP, there were really accusations against him, even while in office. Lots of people were really agitating, but because he had immunity and all that, it boils down to Nigerians living our value. Africa, Africans, coming down to Africa, we have this value.
But the water marble this morning also was a guide for us to say, look, in anything you do, remember to be honest.
Honest.
That's
just it. That's just it.
So are you saying that we don't have public office holder that can distinguish themselves and come out without having anything that has to do with corruption? Are you saying we don't have such?
There are, but if there are,
let them stand up.
Yeah, let them stand up and be recognized. I think it's high time we started recognizing these public holders who actually, when they leave office, there's no trace of corruption, embezzlement, or misappropriation of funds against them. I think when they are
all right, just hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on, Ruth. We have a first call on the line. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the program. All right, well, Lester, please, you want to call us back again and tell us your opinion, and if there's any of the headline that catches your fancy, please feel free to tell us your opinion on this. All right, go ahead, Ruth.
Okay, if we actually start recognizing the efforts by these people, I'm sure.
I guess we'll have the caller again.
Okay.
Hello? Hello? All right, we'll miss that again. Please call us and tell us what you think, your opinion on what we're discussing this morning. We'll be taking a look at the papers, and of course, we're just trying to tell us that, look, we should start thinking towards that direction by also awarding those public office holders that have distinguished themselves. And of course, I agree with you completely, because this morning we're having it at the... Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Nice to have you on the program. Can you tell us your name and where you're calling us from?
I am Chidi. I'm calling from Power Line.
All right, Chidi, go ahead. I like the tempo of your voice. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to comment on the IGP group of 311 million.
Okay, you mean that of the year? It's there on the screen.
The SI. Concerning election fund. I love that type of thing. How can the federal government probe him now? Let us watch them. Let us watch the drama that is going to happen on the Buhari's corruption fighting. Let us see how he's going to take this issue. Because this man needs to go. This man what he did in this country was raising up this kind of thing. He needs to be proved and brought to book. He disorganized the government of this country. Everything, he disorganized even the Senate, he disorganized even individuals. Humiliate them, even the senators. So as now that the man, this kind of thing has come out, the federal government needs to do something. They need to get this man, probe him, so that let us see how where his government is fighting his corruption. That is what I want to contribute.
All right, thank you very much, Chidi. That's a good one coming from you. And of course, he is in support to say, look, Mr. President, this is a little more space for you. If you truly fight in corruption, and now thank God that somebody has pointed out that the former, just the 1 month former IGP is being accused of 311 million naira election fund. And of course, the people are saying, we're bringing you to book. And of course, Idris will be facing probe to talk about what is happening or what happened to the 311 million naira election fund. All right, like the gentleman said, let's watch and cross our hands, and Nigerians are watching. And of course, we will definitely want to know what happened to this money. And also, Ruth, it is 22 days. It was like it wasn't going to come. And that's the funny thing about when you make promise to people. You tell people, say, look, I'm owing you, Ruth. I might be quick to say, I'm going to give you the money October. Believe me, October to you might be very far. But the man that is waiting for October is just like the next day. Now, it is Judgment Day for politicians, those that we voted in, those that are justly to come in. It is Judgment Day. And just 22 days left, Nigerians are going to sit and ask questions. Why should I give you my vote? All right, we take a bit of our documentary, Game Over, We talked about that it is over for politicians that has nothing to offer to Nigerians but just rice and rice and rice.
And of course, wheelbarrows and other things.
All right, let's go for a break and we'll give you opportunity to see this. Game over for those that have nothing to offer to Nigerians. Please stay with us.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Hey, see you. You know nothing. See you. You go cry. Come on here today. Talk.
Too much. Chop. Play well.
Oh boy, what's in that? What's it?
You see your life? You see your life? I beg you. Play game.
I wonder where those trucks are heading to.
Of course, they are heading towards the palace of the village chief.
How can you be so sure?
The chairman is planning to build a befitting palace for our village head so that we can vote him a second time.
You mean those trucks are carrying cement?
They are carrying cement, gravel, stones, and sand.
Oh, Chico, wonder. Look, trucks don't carry sand, stones, or gravels.
Now you sabi, I better play me game. The chairman self just returned from abroad, where his wife go born. I say one day, when I don't become elected official, me self go cruise inside jeep where better pass that one.
Today, Doc go back again for this village.
Now plenty better now they bring for everybody.
The villagers self don't ready for them.
What think they go fit do?
Look, everything we them bring come, now back to sender. As them bring them, now so them go return them back.
You go follow bet for that one?
5,000.
Oh boy, it be like say you don't get juju money, and I go follow you spend them. Eh? I bet am with you. Oh yeah, push so that I go. Where did they pursue these boys? Oh, okay. Oh, they won't go tell others say better a wolf don't land.
You people should come out. Come on.
That man. Today.
Oh yes. Carry. Give them rice. It is my money.
You don't want it. Scatter everything. Scatter.
What is the problem, young man?
The community is not interested in what you have brought.
Yes. I think you should speak for yourself. The fact that you are not interested does not mean others are not.
You buy our conscience 4 years ago, and the hunger way fuller, we never recover.
Yes.
We don't tire.
Yes.
We don't dey ready for you. Carry your things and go. We not go vote for you.
Yes.
You all know you need the things I have brought. Life is about give and take.
Life is about give and take. But you are only concerned with taking and not giving.
Yes. My first daughter don't become widow at 29 just because you refuse to pay doctor's salary. Your husband died because no doctor to attend to him. After he get that small accident. You're a wicked man.
Yes. I'm so sorry to hear about all that.
I regret say I not been vote last time. And you manage enter. But this time me I go vote. And by the grace of God, you don't go enter.
Yes. The children are at home playing away their lives because teachers are always on strike. Even our school building has collapsed.
No potable water in the village. Over 30 innocent children have died because of cholera. Even the child inside me knows that your time is up.
Yes. Our harvests are poor. Since you denied us fertilizers.
We can take care of all this in my second term.
Don't worry about that one. We know how we go take do that one. Now our votes, we go take choose.
Chairman, it's time to go. Take your gift and leave. Enough is enough. Go! 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 Go!
My 5,000.
Oh boy, I weak.
Aha. If you never know now say levels don't change. The people then don't decide to take their destiny for them hand.
To the glory of God and the benefit of all my people, I hereby declare this health center open.
See the result of making the right choice.
So, this kind of beautiful thing can happen in my lifetime.
The future of this village, they're really, really bright with better chairman like this.
You still won't bet say this new chairman after 4 years we don't turn this village to small London.
They tell you say my brain ice cream.
Any aspirant who dashes you gift will definitely dash your hope. Be wise and vote wisely in this election. Voting right equals to better life.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Another political season is here.
The storm of partisan politics has thrown up numerous candidates.
Who can best represent the people?
Abia Media Roundtable presents Political Debates 2019 for governorship and National Assembly candidates.
Let the best candidates emerge through fair debates on relevant issues. Abia Media Roundtable.
Fairness and integrity.
2019 Abia Political Debates.
Date 4th February for National Assembly candidates, 21st February for governorship candidates. Venue Bines Hotel, Herbert Macaulay Hall, Aba. For more information, call 080-5483-3026, 080-3669-3622 or 080-3300-3566. This program is proudly brought to you by ActTV, BCA, Boss FM, Flow FM, Magic FM, MCLtv, NTA Channel 6 Aba, PBS, Pacesetter FM, Love FM, Vision Africa, and Ibere Online TV.
breakfast show on TV.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is still Good Morning Abia, your number one breakfast program on TV, coming to you live from our Abia studio here in Abia State. And of course, when MCL being his first broadcast here in the Eyimba City, the first promise from the CEO of the company, talking about Engineer Okechukwu Ibodeku, was to satisfy the Abian resident. And of course, after 24 years, I want to bring to you that your darling TV station has continued to give you the best of quality. And of course, we've also had our ups and downs. We've also had some point in time when some of the expectations from our viewer had not been met. And this morning, the management had thought it wise to bring two of his main strong personnel, talking about those responsible for some of the things that you see on air, so you have the opportunity to talk to them. Quickly, let me let the cat out of the bag. Sitting close to my left is Engineer Onyena Baha Nameka. Sir, good morning. It's nice to have you on the program.
Good morning.
And of course, sitting close to him is the public relation officer, the man that speaks for the company, the mouthpiece. And also, he's the one also heading the marketing team. Talking about Ihoma Emelogo. Sir, good morning, and it's nice to have you on the breakfast program.
Mike, good morning. Our viewers, good morning. It's my pleasure to be here.
All right, gentlemen. A lot of people have been asking questions, and so we thought it wise, and the management thought it wise to invite you. And starting with you, Engineer Nameka, because you have a lot to do. Before now, there have been so much complaints, but for the past 2 years, we've been from one topsy-turvy to another. Can you tell us what is the problem with our decoder? Before you go to that, I want to give us a brief intro. How many channels do we have?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mike. Actually, in a normal television house or a broadcast house, it's expected to have some technical challenges from time to time. In MCLtv, from the beginning, we've operated 38 channels in 3 bouquets. We'll have channels 1 to 13, we call it first bouquet, 702. Then we have from 14 to 27 channels. 14 to 27, we call that one 772, that is second bouquet. And the third bouquet being 28 to 38 channels, that's 11 channels on that bouquet.
And what is that code for that?
832. We have 702, 772, and 832. That's the 3 bouquets we run here, giving us a total of 38 channels.
Okay.
So before now, we had a problem with 882. There was a technical issue that made people to find it difficult to receive 832. Not a total failure, I see, but people close by receive 832. But those people far from the base don't receive 832. But recently, we have repaired 832, and people are saying it. But all I know is that there are some people from the calls I receive, they don't see 832. But on their television set, it is not writing bar signal. They will tell you from 28 to 38 is blank. And we see it as a problem from their own side.
How?
What they need to do is, they auto-scan. They need to auto-scan their set to have those ones, the pictures out.
How is it? Because not everybody, even I know that a lot of people are also called to ask for direction.
Direction on how to do it.
How, I mean, not everybody is very good with computers. Not everybody is very good also to get these things running. What have you done as the engineering manager to make sure that if I can't do auto scan in my house and I have the machine, how do I get that done?
Okay, the solution to that from the side of the subscribers is for them to bring their machines to our base so that we auto scan and give it them. It's just free of charge. Well, we're not charging them for that. But for those that can follow the instructions.
Can you talk about some of the areas, that's the trouble spot areas? That 832, or that 832, which is the 28 to 38.
From 28 to 38. Some people in their homes will have a blind screen. The screen on the TV will be blind, but it is not writing bar signal. And on that note, if you press OK on the remote, you'll be able to see that there's quality and there's signal. You understand? So based on that, what they need to do is to auto scan so that the picture will come out.
Let me come in there.
Yes.
Mike, you see,
want to add your voice.
From what the general manager have said to a layman, let us bring it down to a layman.
Please do.
The truth of the matter is that from what the general manager have said, which is what has been done, in the industry, in the television industry, it's a continuum. You keep on improving. New equipments keep on coming. So if there's an upgrade in the system, it affects people. As they say in engineering, when the system is in equilibrium, and one of the factors involved in the equilibrium is being altered, the system shifts so as to absorb the change in the equilibrium. So those who don't actually, it's not everybody that is technically inclined.
I agree with you.
When they did the upgrade, automatically you take your remote. When you take your remote, it's being scrolled in channel 1. If you cannot do it, you follow the scroll from channel 1. You can do it. But if you can't do it, bring it to the office. We'll scan for you free. We'll auto scan for you free. But if you cannot do manually also, if you take your remote, I know our viewers are watching and hearing me. If you take your remote,
questions will be asked, but just give
with that your remote, you will see where the figures are being written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. Now under 7, if you press there, it will show you. If you press there, you press OK. You can now do auto scan by pressing right volume, which is.
We'll come to that, and we would like you to also do that. We'll find a way, if not possible today, invite you managers to come over, and we'll do a practical part of it so people back at home can see us do that. But quickly, I want to go back to you. I'm still going to get back to you, sir. But let me go back to you, the PRO. A lot of customers have also complained bitterly. And some of the complaints when we had this same platform for people to call. One of the first complaints was that we remain the only TV station that refuses money after 6 p.m. If we do 24 hours services, broadcast services, and why can't we have a customer service for 24 hours? I'm sure you want to answer that as well.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mike, the moderator. The truth of the matter is that just like business, in any business.
I'd like to talk to you that I don't belong to an MCL party. I just want you to.
Yeah, to our customers. Yes. The truth is that you must put into consideration the environment at which you are doing your business.
And what is the environment you're doing your business?
That's what I'm saying. You see, for now, we are going to get there. Soon, people will be recharging from their home, from their phone.
After 24 years.
We will get there. We will get there. It's a gradual process.
Yes, I agree.
It's an indigenous firm that is doing the best they could.
No, the question is, what happens after 6 p.m.? Most of the callers that are called in on this program, even sometimes little issues that needs to be rectified through phone calls can be passed across. And the question is, what happens? Because your TV station runs 24 hours uninterrupted. What happens to 24 hours customer service?
Mike, you see, the truth is that people, if you go from our receipts, phone numbers are there, which you can use to contact us. That's one. 2, for more inquiries, if you watch MCL, you will see from time to time, you will beam for more inquiries. If you have questions, if you have technical challenges, there are numbers there. So Customers should have those numbers. And I'm sure when they call these numbers, attention will be given to them. Their problems will be solved. But the issue of payment after 6 p.m., honestly, we are working towards that. They will get there.
Okay,
we are really working
towards
Yes, it's been a challenge, that people will come after the close of office and they will be able to make payment for them to view.
Which is not good for business.
Yes, it's not good. And I want to tell you that we've worked out modalities to take care of that. It's on the pipeline. We're trying to see if it will be possible to have a kind of system where people can pay it through their phones. They have software in their phone. They can make their payments through online payments. Then secondly, the second option would be for them to make payment through a kind of recharge card. They can buy it and recharge whether Saturday or Sunday at any given time. So we've done a kind of survey, trying to look into the possibilities of doing that. And I believe we're going to come out with something positive.
All right, coming out with something positive that is coming from the man that makes you and I see those pictures that you're seeing right now, courtesy of the gentleman seated very close to me. It's no other person than Onyena Baha Nameka. All right, so I'll be coming to you, but quickly, let me quickly talk to the PRO manager, Mr. Inyoma Emelogu. But yeah, Mr. Inyoma, customers had also talked about we not giving out discount in the sense that they expect that at a point in time you have things to give to your customer for saying thank you for being with us for these years. It's been a while the customers get some freebies from us. What is happening to your department?
Thank you. I want to tell you, in the television industry, in the whole Nigeria, MCL, our subscription is the least, 2,100. Check it. Go and check it for me. And the management decided that we should still stay at this 2001. It is a sort of bonus also to our customers. Remember what you're paying is 2,100 is VAT. So compare from every other place. That's one. Two, issue of gift. We are working on something that you remember that when you pay 6 months, we give you 2 weeks. And when you pay 1 year, we give you 1 month. It's also a bonus. But when you are talking about, I hope you are talking about something like biro, calendars, and such gifts.
Or whatever you want to give to your customers.
It's okay. Hopefully, 2019 is a new year. For my department, we submitted a proposal to the management. Hopefully. When approved, something will be given this year.
Some also had spoken that sometimes the way your advert commercials comes on the football match especially, they find it a bit irritating. Do you have something to say concerning that?
My brother, this is a private company, private-owned company. And we run 24 hours diesel. 24 hours diesel. The number of staff, if I tell you, you'll be surprised. So how do we sustain it? Do we have to go and borrow money from the bank? The answer is no. So if we have an advert that will run during the halftime of the ball or before the ball, who says we will not? We should take it. We are going to take it. I don't have anything against it. I defend my department. I defend people under me. If they see advert that we run during ball, please, they should bring it. Even our viewers out there, if you have something you want to showcase during ball, come and pay us, we'll aid it. But it will not stop us from showing the ball. Thank you.
All right, let's go back to you, engineer. There's a new decoder, and of course, the decoder is there, but a lot of people are also coming back to say, even despite the fact, okay, let me put this question. What is the difference between the old decoder and the new decoder in the first place?
Okay, the new decoder is a kind of an improved version of the old one that came in with some modern features. For instance, the new decoder, that one has a USB port where you can dub, assuming there is a program you like, and the television and you want to dub it with your system, it has the capacity to do that. They will have HDMI and they call it AV, unlike the other one, where you can output through the AV only. This one has HDMI, USB, and AV as well. And it also came with a customized antenna that goes with it, which is also weather friendly. That one is, it has the capacity to filter thunder or lightning, unlike the other ones.
And some people complain about cards. Does it come with a card?
It doesn't have a card.
This one
has a MAC number, which is also an advantage.
So it has an inbuilt card?
Yes, everything is inbuilt. There's a chip in it that controls the number.
So the days of
stealing cards.
my
decoder is stolen, this and that. This one, if the decoder is stolen, you bring the MAC number, the person cannot sell it to any other person. But the other one can be sold, and somebody will be looking for a way to get cards.
Okay.
Yes.
So this eradicates the card completely.
Yes, and it has a very good picture. It has a very good picture.
Does this still come up with the same 38 channels?
Yes.
It comes up with the same 38 channels.
Yes.
And so far, what has been the reports from people that have acquired this?
The only reports I received so far is that some people from the far end of Abia, at the outskirts, they say they find it difficult to, receive using the decoder very well. And we are working towards that to ensure that report is correct.
And what has the fault finding been so far?
We are still on it. We've not concluded that there are places in Abia that don't receive it, except if there is a technical issue, maybe there is a mast or interference from any other network affecting it. So we are still on it.
Okay, Mr. Ioma Emilogu, what makes MCL stands out? Because of course you and I know that other TV stations are emerging. What makes us stand out from the rest? What is our selling point?
Our selling point, 1,000 are one of them. But let me start from one. First and foremost, MCL keep on evolving. We keep on improving. We keep on acquiring new and modern technologies. That is why we see us keep on upgrading. Others hardly do that. Two, when you come to cost, it is easy to just use 2,000 naira to recharge your MCL decoder. Three, the picture quality we have is close to none. The picture quality.
But people that complain that
I'm coming.
Yeah.
Because of this new decoder because of our new decoder, unlike the old one, this new decoder, at the end of the day, you will find out that there's the picture quality with this one and the other features this new decoder has makes it before any other TV company around us will get to where we are. We'll go further down.
Well, Engineer Lawrence, I'm sorry. I'm still using calling you your nickname, but let me go on ahead. In America, some people have complained in the past that sometimes the picture on Channel 1, Channel 7 is a bit not on the good side, and the viewer finds it difficult to make something out of it. Can you share more light on these?
Channels 1 and 7. That's our own internal channels.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to argue on this. The only promise I want to make is that there are still possible ways to improve on them.
How soon? Because these are
as soon as possible. I'm hearing it from you now for the first time. I'm assuring you.
Well, the viewers have been calling.
I'm assuring you now that.
Okay, let's quickly open up the lines because the lines are buzzing, but I decided to give you, gentlemen, time to answer some of the few questions that are pointed out to us. Of course, the number is on your screen. Call us on 081-7744-57728 and tell us. These two gentlemen will be here to answer some of the problems that you've been encountering while watching your darling TV station MCL. All right, gentlemen. I would like to go to you, Engineer Lalas. When it comes to football matches, they said the quality of what we have in the past is no longer what we have right now. Would you want to tell us if there are any reasons behind we not having the same quality pictures when it comes to football matches?
Yes, of course, I've noticed.
All right, just hold on to your thoughts because we have our first caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Aja, it's nice to have you again on the program. I have two gentlemen this morning. We're not talking about politics. We're talking about MCL Customer Service Week. Any question for these two gentlemen? Hello? All right, sorry, we lost that. Mr. Aja, you want to call back and tell us? Because the two gentlemen will be able to do... Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Can you tell us your name, where you're calling us from?
I'm calling from Chima.
All right, Mr. Chima, I have those men that runs the day-to-day activities for what you and I are enjoying back at home. And of course, the two gentlemen.
MCL customer service.
Of course. On my left, the man with the yellow shirt is the chief engineer. It makes what you and I are watching right now possible. Do you have any questions for him?
There's some small comment I want to share with you people.
Go ahead, sir.
Your program from 2 months now, from 28 to 38 is not showing. So you still pay for the whole channel. That is 2,100. For 28 to 38 is not showing for the past 2 months.
Where is your place, sir?
And your 27, the picture is not good.
Okay.
You will show something and you can satisfy the status there.
Okay.
So your network.
Where, Mr. Chima? Mr. Chima?
Your customers.
Mr. Chima? Mr. Chima?
Level customers.
All right, Mr. Chima, where is your place?
The things I find out.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chima. Where is your place? So if there are issues with you.
Obo Hill, 7 outside.
Okay, Obo Hill, 7 outside.
Thank you. I know Nemeka, we do together. I think I know him from Owana.
All right. Well, thank you, but this is not. Thank you very much. Both of you will talk about your meetings later after this program. All right, you heard your friend Chima is saying, look, from channel 28 to 38, where you have the 832 bouquet, is having an issue. And he also pointed out, but just hold on a minute, gentlemen, put on some of this because we have other people calling. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. It's nice to have you on the program. Can you tell us the name and where you're calling us from, sir?
Okay, my name is David. I'm calling from Ibadan.
What's your name again, sir? What's your name again?
Steven.
All right, Mr. Steven. I have two gentlemen here. And what's the question?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank them for such a program. It's good advice. People should enlighten people
it's very important.
On issues like this. I'm happy to see them on the program.
All right, thank you, sir.
And my question is this. It is good at this level. Because sometime last year, I was having an case on some channels from 28 to, I think, 30 days. I couldn't get the signal. They say some people, some areas can't get the signal. That they are doing some upgrading. After a while, when I returned back to get the report, the government has finished. That the channels are okay. I went back, checked my now. Yes, although they are perfect, they are still cracking. They are not stable yet. I don't know if there's any other thing we can do about that.
Okay, thank you very much. They would respond to your question. Thank you, Mr. Stephen. You heard it, gentlemen. Let's see if there's another call on the line so you could just put up the questions in one pack. All right, the first one came from your friend, Chima, where he talked about the channel 28 to 38 is not working. And of course, he lives in Obo Hill. And he also pointed out to say channel 27 seems to be bad with the blur pictures. But it's just hang on, we have a call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, madam. Don't tell me Z-Word is not working because I know Z-Word is working.
Hello?
Good morning, ma.
Good morning. My name is Tina. I'm calling from Obo.
Yes, Madam Chinyere, don't tell me Z-Word is not working because I know Z-Word is on. Don't tell us that Z-Word is not on because I know Z-Word is on. All right, go ahead.
That's my problem.
All right.
Give your customers, even if this benefit or 10 or 5. Some people at the 100 from January to December is not easy. And there's other channels people can transfer to you. People should maintain your customers. Everybody is living because of their motive. And that channel will take you, that is not shaky. And if you take it as a 100, that channel will take you, don't shake. You don't sell. Because the one that is very big one and it takes more money. So you need to maintain your customers. This overhead site, everybody is moving to MCLtv now. So you need to maintain your customers.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Thank you for telling us your candid opinion. And of course, the two gentlemen here will have time to answer all these questions. All right, we have another caller on the line.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Please, can you tell us your name? Please, can you reduce the volume? Someone, please, can you reduce the volume? Okay, Mr. Samuel, go ahead. Sorry, Mr. Samuel, please, if you must call us, reduce the volume of the TV set, or better still, move far away so we can hear you properly. All right, gentlemen, you heard. Calls are coming in, and of course, we have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Please, can you tell us your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Brian. I'm calling from Abia.
What's your name again, sir? Ifeanyi. Okay, where in Abia precisely are you calling from? Obikabia. All right, go ahead, sir. Yes, you just recharged there. Oh, sorry, we lost that, and you want to call back. Okay, gentlemen, for time's sake, I'll just give you opportunity, even though the lines are buzzing, so you can answer. Of course, engineer in America, you heard your friend Chima talked about 28 and 38, and he's calling from Omoy to be precisely, and 27, not even with the right pictures. All right, please, let's just take this call until we have time to react. Hello, good morning, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good morning, sir.
Hello?
Are you calling us from London?
Good morning, how are you?
Yeah, it's morning here in Nigeria. Good morning.
I'm not telling you.
If you reduce the volume of your TV set, I'm sure you could hear us properly. Good. Thank you very much.
I can hear you now. Hello, I can hear you. I can hear you. Hello?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello? Hello?
We'll ask you to see if you can get out to get where you can get the better of reception and call us and tell us if there are questions or things that you need these two gentlemen to respond to. All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning, and nice for you to come over. Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to have you on the program. Can you tell us the name and where you're calling us from, sir?
This is Mr. Aja, calling from Ohanku.
Okay, yeah, Aja from Ohanku. Go ahead.
Yes, you see, the reason why we propose go with the MCL because of the details. Some of us don't like maybe when you are playing match during the night, you go outside. Then it happens that when you are watching match, there is something that the presenter said here, which I would also like to re-emphasize. If they add money to what we are saying now, because if you are working together, you don't like to see the analysis of the game. Not to sometimes, notice that when you are working, when a match has started, not to notice that the next year, the marketing department, people marketing their marketing of the same knowledge, and sometimes in some high education, the management to do something about that. This is the way we want to bring the drive of this game. Allow us to work the game. And then, it's a very important to emphasize that in this part of the area, this is not
All right, thank you, Mr. Aja. You said it, and of course, I would also, when it gets to that point, I would also want to make my little contribution, even though I am the anchor person. Gentlemen, the calls are coming. We'll have to make time to give you to respond. Hello? Hello, good morning, ma. Please, can you tell us your name and where you're calling us from? Chiamaka calling from Asiama. All right, tell us, how is Asiama receiving us this morning? What? We can hardly hear you, madam. I'm really struggling. Did you hear what she said? Channel 27. All right, Channel 27. You talked about. Don't worry, the engineering manager in America will be here to answer your questions. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, there are also text messages coming in, but for time's sake, we would also have to create a day where the two of you and every other managers, both the news programs managers, will also come here and talk to Abians, especially those watching us directly. Hello? Good morning, sir. Nice to have you on the breakfast program. Can you tell us your name and where you're calling us from? Mr. Maduka, from where?
I'm calling from Mongasi.
From Mongasi. Okay, what's the problem? Any contribution?
My problem is your sports channel.
Sports channel?
Your sports channel, channel 12.
Channel 12.
For close to 3 years now, we are not happy watching it.
Okay.
Just like the match at night. The match last night between Tottenham and Chelsea. Between Tottenham and Chelsea. They don't enjoy the match at all.
Okay.
That channel has been a problem.
Okay.
What's the problem?
All right, thank you very much. Let me, even though I'm gentlemen, please pardon me, even though I'm not in position to give my opinion, but let me also say that sometimes weather, of course, you and I know that right now in Europe, it is cold, and sometimes weather also has a lot to play. I'm sure the engineering manager would also lend so much voice on that. So please just put that apart of your mind. Weather also has a lot to play. Hello? Can you just... Okay, if I go ahead.
It's just because of, we are using old soda. So it's over 5 months now, we haven't seen charges. Then you now charge the point that it's not connected.
What is not writing? The new decoder?
Yeah?
What you say is not working? Is it the old or the new decoder?
No channel is changing at all. You are just writing program on set or what?
When was the last time you subscribed?
Last 4 months ago.
What?
4 months
ago. Last 4 months ago.
And so it has expired, and so you need to bring your decoder to the office anyway. Gentlemen, please, we're not going to take any more calls so we can respond to this. You heard all the questions. Starting from Mr. Aja, Mr. Chima pointed out from 28 to 38 is not working. Listen, Obo Hill, 7 up areas. Is there any areas that are prone to have some of these problems?
I know that
quickly, because even the lines are buzzing.
Mr. Chima is watching. Yeah, he's watching us right now. We've said it before. The problem with 28 to 38, like I said before now we had an issue with it. The people are watching.
Yeah, you said that.
I know that. 7 Up area, they are watching. Magic FM area, they are watching. Tony Mars towards Living Ward area.
So how does it correct this? So we can quickly...
So the only problem now is, Mr. Chima, if your one is showing, you are not seeing bad signal, but it is a blank picture, just to do auto scan.
And if you can't do that...
If you can't do that, bring your machine to the office, we'll do it for you.
Okay, so Mr. Chima, that is settled. Just coming from the engineering manager to say, if you are having difficulties because the problem from 28 to 38, which is the A32 bouquet, has been rectified, and if you're still having issues with this 28 to 38, come to the office. And of course, you're not paying a single dime. It will be rectified by the technical department. Says the head of engineering department.
So any other person have a similar problem.
All right, thank you. Quickly, let's go to you for time's sake. Mr. Yoba, I just want you to comment so much. The gentleman from talking about Mr. Madu called and he expressed his displeasure. So despite the fact that he sincerely agree with you 100% that because it's a morning speeding thing, but you also need to put the viewer's discretion. And he's saying, please find a suitable time to put in those advertorials, not when the lineup of the football match is already coming in. Some of them do a lot with the lineup, and sometimes when they know that they will get experts talking about the match, and the next thing is all adverts. He's just saying you should take note of that. And you also talked about the lady that called from Oborha, talk about that, yes, sometimes you, MCL, should find a way to compensate. The 2,100 naira might seem cheap and a meager sum of money, but it is something when you put it up for a year. And some of them have been consistent paying for the past 20 years. And all you could say is when you pay 6 months, you get 2 weeks. And once you pay 12 months, you get 1 month. For her, it's not acceptable. There are other ways you could give out freebies. So I'm very sure you have mapped out something.
I want to thank our subscribers, especially those that have been so consistent with us for a very long time. And I also want to thank a lot of people that have been calling me personally, those that call on our company line, which I'm also holding, making a lot of inputs. We are going to do something more positive this year. Then about the football issue, I'm promising our viewers, we are going to adjust our timing so as to suit those who are paying us and those who are watching. I also want to use this opportunity to also tell our subscribers, a lot of people will come and pay. And they said, because somebody called and said he paid for 4 days, he's not watching. You see, the truth of the matter is that you can't hold your smart card.
Gentlemen, please, can we take this call, even though, sorry to abridge it, this call has been coming in inconsistently. Hello? This is the last caller for today. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your last caller for today. Quickly, you have 1 minute to tell us what your problem is and what you think.
My name is Onyeka. I'm calling you from Amy Road.
Mr. Onyeka, go ahead. Quickly, the two gentlemen here is ready to...
This is about your network issue in this area, about the MCL for the program. Hello, are you hearing me?
Of course, yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. As a sports lover, I am. So, the quality of your program about the sport is my problem because of the way you people are giving us the internet in the sports level of your program. Like yesterday you people showing us only Chelsea match, while Real Madrid and other leagues playing on.
All right, thank you, sir. For time's sake, I'm sure the two gentlemen here have heard you. He talked about the poor quality of the football match, and he also pointed out that despite the fact not everybody's a Chelsea fan, and despite the fact that Chelsea was playing Tottenham Hotspur yesterday, the Real Madrid at the same time was also playing on the team. And in the past, you have variety of matches as it comes, but these days you guys limit us to just one specific football match. Engineer Emeka, do you have something to say concerning this?
Well, it's a good observation, but what I want to do is to assure the people and our customers that all those things will be taken care of.
Okay.
Just little time. I want them to be patient. Before now, we'll give them 4 matches at the same time, but something led to that, what they are observing right now. But we are working out before long. Their matches will be there again with clean channels. All the matches.
And gentlemen, gentlemen, a quick one. Do you have a specific number that people can reach? Talking about not individual, but a specific number that people can reach once it is 6 o'clock. And how soon? Because from the text message, I'm going to read some of the text messages here. From the text messages, some people said, this one came from Urata and said, this is not the first time that you, MCL, is promising of making sure that we can run subscription even from the courtesy of our living room. Like you said in your slogan, the world is in your home. That means we could do everything in our home, but you are not meeting up to that slogan. So gentlemen, the world in your home, why can't I pay from my house? Why can't I pay from the comfort of my living room? Why can't I pay from the comfort of my office? When even your slogan says it's the world in your home.
Yeah, let me comment.
Because
there's a misinterpretation.
Yeah, because now I just want you to be very snappy because it's almost time for us to round up, and of course because of this we're taking up the football segment of this program. So you can the calls are buzzing, gentlemen, and I tell you a lot of people want to express some certain things that they need or think that we should correct.
We're working towards that.
All right, you guys are working towards that. And very soon the results will come. All right.
Let me equally mention something on 27, that channel on 27.
Yes, please.
With the blood picture.
Yes.
I'm assuring them that before tomorrow that will be rectified.
All right, you heard it from the number one person in terms of the engineering department says, look, hold me responsible. I give you my words. Tomorrow, the channel 27 that seems blur will no longer be there. If it happens, hold me responsible. And so the viewer are taking down your name, and tomorrow, believe me, they would call to find out if actually channel 27 is in the right position.
Mike, I want to tell our customers, if you pay for your subscription, and it's important that while coming to pay, come with the receipt or copy your smart card number. You know, this frequency of removing a smart card, people move about with the smart card. Sometimes it's afraid the card. Now, when the card reader becomes weak or could not read the card, you keep on depreciating. Then at a time when you pay, it takes longer time before the thing comes on. So that's why it's important for you to leave the smart card inside the decoder. Another thing is some people will pay. After paying, they will leave it in channel 1. Channel 1 is open. It's unencrypted channel. So you should leave it from the channel 2 to channel 38. That is encrypted.
Gentlemen, I would like you to respond to these of all the text messages because some of the text messages still bears the same complaint, channel 27 and the rest. But I'd like you to respond to these. And this person says, hello, MCL. I've been your reliable customer for the past 6 years, but presently I am no longer comfortable with your payment subscription. Let's talk about payment subscription. It says when we pay to your outlets, it takes more than 4 or 5 hours for us to start enjoying the payments. When they pay through the outlets that we have, it takes hours, and of course, you know, if you come straight to the corporate office or to pay directly, between few minutes you're on. But these sometimes they have to wait like 4 or 5 hours, and that is losing 4 or 5 hours from 2,100. Yes, Mr. Pierre, do you want to say something concerning that? How do you speed up the connectivity?
These outlets, the management created them to
alleviate people from coming.
Yes, to the problem of coming from a distance to come out.
Yeah, it's noted, but it's said there should be a synergy, a quick one.
There is,
and I think
Mike, we are working on it.
Yes, good. I think what you also pointed out.
We are working on it.
It's a feedback.
Yeah,
so
we are working on it.
But I think what he is also trying to say is that, you know, sometimes the man that is taking the numbers, instead of sending one number, might be a bit economical to say, let me get 3, 4, and if it takes 6 hours before the next number comes in, this man will not.
Please, I want to assure them already there's a meeting built on Tuesday next week for the whole CESA list. I'm going to have a meeting with them on Tuesday. So these are part of the issues we are going to discuss. I'm promising them we are going to be practical.
All right, so gentlemen, you've heard the complaints. Hoping that hopefully that you guys will be here next week to also talk to our subscriber. And of course, in America, you also promised that the bad picture in channels 27 will be fully looked into, hopefully tomorrow. All right, thank you. This is where we will be joining today's program, and we'll ask you to stay tuned for the next program on Asalachi Omabia.
MCL, the word in your home.